The cover captivated us and we even thought it didn't fit the description of progressive metal, but we were still interested. Unfortunately, our expectations weren't quite met by reality. It's not that Spectrums is bad, not at all. It's just not progressive metal. If anything, it's modern metal where groove and electronic arrangements merge to bring something that, although it's been done in profusion all over the place for a long time, still sounds interesting. All the more so given that Meixsell Sangora, whose nickname is precisely Dusk, a musician/producer from Saudi Arabia who started out in music as a DJ until 2018 and then discovered and fell in love with the sound of the guitar. Here he's joined by many guests, and the result will please fans of modern sounds, although it may not be exactly impressive in the long run.
An interesting French band that launched out on its own, and here's their self-titled debut EP that will appeal to fans of more modern metalcore sounds, the style that perhaps best defines them musically. The duality of melody and heaviness is well achieved and isn't even very predictable, since it's the heaviness that stands out. Also noteworthy is Marine's powerful guttural voice, which helps to keep the energy levels high.
What do you think the name of this band means? Does it mean something in Norwegian, since the band comes from Norway? It's a disquieting doubt that is quickly silenced as we make our way through this debut album. And the first contact immediately makes us think of Opeth, in a register that the band doesn't even use much anymore, although then the guitar riffs go in another, more modern direction. The calmer moments, on the other hand, appeal to our more Porcupine Tree side, and although it doesn't feel as much throughout the album as it did at the beginning, these are two references that feel omnipresent, and despite being the fruit of a debut album that has trouble showing its own personality and identity, it does emerge here and it's very captivating. An embryonic work from a band that has come on strong.
It's almost criminal that we should have met this Portuguese band Crosta, which can be translated into English as crust, in the band's own words, the outermost shell of our old Mother Earth. With their fourth album, the band emerges with a power that should be recognized by all fans of post-sludge doom metal. Cavernous, but with a unique ability to create atmospheres that are as bleak as they are beautiful. They inflict both despair and hope. The eternal dichotomy of being human. Crosta's work is overwhelmingly impressive, totally recommended and already set aside as one of the works of 2023.
This isn't exactly a new Decayed album. However, it's a hot item for all fans of the band. In the era of the mythical hexagram, the band recorded some of their classics at Brugo Studios in a record that was kept on the shelf until it was released to the public now. The sound is that of Decayed, very raw and with that very distinctive feeling that is immediately recognizable as the band's own. While it doesn't exactly offer anything new, it's a release that die-hard fans won't be able to do without.
Our introduction to the sound of the Americans' Infernal Tyrant was with their EP, Winter EP, the cover of which didn't promise much and which we ended up being positively surprised by. We were even recommended this EP when we published the previous review. Now that we have some expectations, I have to say that this spring EP is not only better than the previous one, it makes us want to listen to it even more. The precarious production is still a factor, but not as decisive, since the songs themselves captivated us immediately. And more than the songs themselves, it's the way we get excited about what the band might do next. 3 songs that grab you immediately.
Frost Legion's second album comes almost a decade after their debut. 9 years that haven't stopped the band in their tracks presenting themselves with a renewed lineup. What they show here is up-tempo and highly interesting black metal without any major revolutions. You don't need them for a good album. Dark Ice is cohesive in its composition and also has a powerful sound that really helps to elevate its metallic power to the next level. Back in Force.
We have no doubts whatsoever about the strength and quality of the Portuguese underground scene, but fortunately there are many releases that reinforce our belief. This is Threatened's debut album, which at first glance might draw attention to some of the visual aspects of the artwork. We assure you that these small clues are not reflected in the final result that we can hear from their debut. Quite the opposite, in fact. An organic production and a love of more classic technical death metal, i.e. without too much exaggeration, and the result is one of the most addictive debut albums of 2023. A band we want to follow.